unstoppable, loud, manipulative, always in control. Have you ever noticed how someone who once seemed unstoppable, loud, manipulative, always in control, suddenly begins to avoid you, mock you nervously, or act out of character? That shift isn't random. It's a sign. What you're witnessing is not their strength, but their fear. And here's the truth. When a narcissist behaves in certain ways, it means their demonic spirit, the very energy that thrives on control and manipulation, is terrified of you. Today I want to break this down. By the end of this talk, you won't just understand narcissists. You'll know exactly how to recognize when your light, your healing, and your strength have pushed their spirit into retreat. That's why you'll want to stay with me until the very end. Because once you see these signs, you'll never again be fooled by their facade of power. The hidden fear of narcissists is something that very few people notice at first, because their outer shell is so polished, so loud, and so seemingly confident that it almost feels unshakable. They are masters at creating an image that convinces the world they are untouchable, in control, and above everyone else. But underneath that mask lies an insecurity so profound that it quietly governs every move they make. Narcissists operate from fear of being seen for who they truly are, fear of being powerless, fear of being abandoned, and most of all, fear of losing control over those they manipulate. Their entire identity is built on an illusion, a carefully constructed facade that is meant to distract others from their emptiness inside. When someone begins to see past that facade, when their mask starts to crack, this is when their hidden fear surfaces in very visible ways. One of the clearest signs of this fear is overreaction. When you challenge their authority, or even when you simply stand your ground without giving them the supply they crave, they don't respond with calm reasoning or measured dialogue. They lash out, they exaggerate, or they play the victim in dramatic fashion. Why? Because your strength mirrors back their weakness, and they cannot allow that truth to be exposed. Their fear is not always loud. Sometimes it shows up in silence, in avoidance, in the sudden disappearance, when they realize you are not easily manipulated anymore. They retreat not because they are too strong to engage, but because their spirit cannot withstand the exposure your presence brings. Another layer to this fear is the constant need for validation. Narcissists are terrified of irrelevance. They need to be seen, praised, and feared in order to feel alive. The moment you stop feeding them attention, whether it is positive admiration or negative emotional reactions, they begin to wither. Their spirit, which thrives on chaos, suddenly feels starved. That starvation is fear,